She's having a great time, can you tell? Hey guys, welcome to another video. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of go over what I use for grooming Juno. Since we're stuck in quarantine, we're stuck in the house, might as well wash your dogs, groom your dogs. You're probably not able to take your dogs to the groomer if that's something that you do. So I'm going to go over all of the things that I use to groom Juno, and the things I don't like, the things I do like, the things she doesn't like. So yeah, stay tuned. Wow, this bathroom is very yellow. We rent, so this is just what it is, but Juno has basically taken claim of the guest bathroom shower because we rarely have guests that are here long enough where they need to shower, so I leave it set up for her unless I need to change it. But I've just got this caddy in here that holds all of her stuff, and then as you can see, we took the shower head off and we actually have this hose system here. So what I love about this hose is that it has an on-off switch on it, which you can kind of see right there. And what I love about this is you can keep the water on the whole time, but it won't be coming out of the hose. So you're not wasting water and you just turn it on when you need it. Also great for dogs who don't like the sound of the water. I know some dogs when getting a bath, they don't like the way that it sounds. It can get really loud and stuff like that. So that's great for dogs that have issues with that. And then let me just show you what it is. This is the one that we have. Got it off Amazon. I don't think it was that expensive, but we love it. It works really well for us. And then also we've got a mat in the bottom of the shower here. It's not going to focus. There we go. And this is just a cheap mat. I think I got it at Ross. It just keeps her from like slipping and sliding in the tub, so that's why we use that. And then here, I've got one of these, but I've tried it a few times. I've tried it wet and I've tried it dry, and I don't know. It doesn't work great for me. Maybe if she was like super muddy or something, but it's a Kong Zoom Groom. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not using it right. It's very possible. And then as you can see, we've tried a various number of things. This is the first stuff that we tried, and as you can see, we didn't use very much of it. Didn't work super well. I should probably just throw it away. This is the second stuff we used. This is almost empty. This worked for a little while, but I was finding that her skin was still pretty dry, and then we moved and it got even drier, so we switched to this stuff, which I absolutely love this. So this is the shampoo, and I will wash her with this and then I'll rinse it out. And then this is like a treatment, and so what I do is I put this in her like quote-unquote problem areas. So her back and her butt area and her hips tend to be the driest. So I will put that stuff in there, and I let it sit for basically as long as she'll let me let it sit for, 2 to 5 minutes depending on her mood that day. And then I rinse it out, and it has left her coat shiny, no dry skin, super soft, less shedding. It's worked really well for us, so I definitely recommend this stuff if you guys have the same issues, which oftentimes German Shepherds can tend to have dry skin, so I would definitely give this stuff a try. So this is the remaining grooming items. I'll start with these just because we don't use them. So the reason that we don't use them is because she won't let me use them. I've never even been able to try because she's not into it. And normally she wouldn't have a choice and I would train out of that. But I don't care that she doesn't love nail clippers because we use this. This thing is fantastic. It is, if it'll focus, the paw control Dremel, but you can really use any of the Dremels. It doesn't have to be the pet specific one. But This is what it looks like. I love this thing. Like, I basically have been using this on her since we got her at about 5 months. And so she's super conditioned to it now. If it takes me too long, she gets a little like over it, but I don't blame her. I try to do it enough where I don't have to do it for a long period of time. It's usually just like a quick, like, you know, Dremel and then it's done with. But this is my favorite head. This is the head that I like to use the best. It's not gonna focus. Still not gonna focus. Okay, but it's just, there we go. It's just like a regular Dremel head, really, with the sandpaper on it. But yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea of what it looks like when I use it. But the main thing I would say is condition your dog to it. So I started with just turning it on and treating her. For her, like, being chill with it being on, because it obviously does make a sound, and the higher speed you go, the louder it gets. And then I would touch it to her nail and then treat her. And then I would Dremel a little bit and treat her. And then, you know, Dremel for a few nails and then treat her. And so she still occasionally gets treats when we do it because I want to continue it being a good experience. But doing that over an extended period of time got her conditioned to it. So here's a little bit of an idea of what it looks like. I just did them yesterday, so I'm not going to do too much, but I'll show you guys. Okay, so that's what level 1 sounds like. She's going to do her own nails, apparently. But yeah, you just kind of... I don't want to take too much off, mainly because I just did them yesterday, so they're already kind of where I want them. But yeah, that's what I would basically do. You just do a little bit, and then I would treat, and so on, and then you build up your dog's, like, okayness with it. You're conditioning them to being okay with the Dremel. The earlier you do this, the better. So the younger you start them on stuff like this, the better it's gonna be. Okay, so the next 2 items are her brush and some trimming shears. So the brush that we currently use is a, there we go, a Furminator. I don't love this brush. I've heard that people say that it takes out too much top coat, which I find that if I brush too hard, it will take out like the top coat rather than her undercoat, because she does have an undercoat. But for the most part, it will pull out the fluff, you know, the shed, the undercoat, and I don't have too many issues with it. I would love for it to work better, but don't we all want things to work better? So I'm not sure if it, like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm not sure if it can work better, you know, or if there is something better than this. But if you guys have a dog that sheds, please leave recommendations down below on what brushes you use, because I'd really love to check, you know, something new out other than the Furminator. And then I just started using these actually. I hate these specific ones, so I'm not going to recommend this brand. These are really cheap. Hey, I would prefer something sharper. I don't feel like it cuts the hair very well. I'm going to try and sharpen them to see if that helps at all, but basically what I use these for is the hair on her underside of her belly. It gets kind of long and it gets kind of scraggly, and I don't like the way, oh here we go, perfect. So this hair down here will get really long, but only like a few thin little pieces, and I don't like how it looks. It's purely an aesthetic thing. It just looks really like scraggly and stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I have her stand up and then I trim it with the thinning shears, and the reason the thinning shears are better is because they don't just blunt cut off the hair, which can look really good when you're not good at what you're doing, like me. Huh, I'm not a groomer. So I love thinning shears, but I won't recommend these ones because I just don't really like them very much. So maybe I'll try some more. Or once again, if you guys know any good ones, leave them down below. This is the ear cleaner that I use for Juno, so I'm just covering it up because it is prescription. We get it from the vet, but I just want to show what it is. I'm just trying to block out our personal information. This stuff is fantastic. It works better than anything I've ever tried, but obviously it is prescription, so you may not be able to access it. And if you're not, we've also used this, and I try to use this in between using the prescription stuff because obviously the prescription stuff is expensive and I don't want to go through it super quickly. So I use this, which is actually the same brand as her soap, I just realized. But I do like this. It does work decently well. It just obviously doesn't work as well as the hardcore stuff. But I use this in between washing. And basically what I do with either one is I squirt it into her ear, and then I close the ear off because she has obviously pointy ears. So I close the ear off and I rub like this. And I try to do this for as long as she'll let me. So I try to get 2 minutes, but obviously I don't always get 2 minutes. But yeah, you just hold it and you rub, and then I let her shake out, like I let her shake her head to get it out. And then I go in with a paper towel and just wipe out this like outer, outer portion, get some of the wetness out. And I'll try to get in a little bit, but I definitely don't want to mess up her ears, so I don't like go all the way in. I don't use Q-tips, nothing like that. Just try to get what she shook out, from shaking out of the inside of the ear to the outside of the ear, and just wipe it out. She can have issues with her ears too, so I definitely should be doing this probably once a week. I'm not as good about that, but I'm trying to be better. So, she's not a huge fan of it, but, we gotta do what we gotta do. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Definitely let us know in the comments section below what you guys use to groom your dogs, and also give us any suggestions on better alternatives to what we're using. It would be greatly appreciated, and I hope you guys enjoyed.